Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk with Todd here at Todd Beebe Music. Today we have another guitar lesson. I want to talk about extending the minor pentatonic scale. Let's use A for an example. I always love using A whenever I teach any of my students because it's right in the center of the neck, so you're not too far flat or sharp. You're just right in the middle of the neck. I like that. It's a nice comfortable position. So most of you know minor pentatonic. If you don't, real quick, let's just kind of go through that. So here at the 5th fret, we have 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. So keep in mind it's called pentatonic because it has 5 notes. So when I first learned that as a kid, I didn't really grasp that and I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, well, okay, it's 5 notes, but like we're obviously playing way more than 5 notes here, so I don't understand. In this case, we're playing 12, but the notes just repeat in octaves. So in this case, let's name the notes. We have A, we have C, D, E, and G. Then when we hit the 7th fret on the 4th string, we're back to the octave of A, and we're starting the notes over again in the exact same order. A, C, D, E, G, and then again A, C, and if you wanted to, D, E, G. You can keep going up the neck, and that's all notes in that A minor pentatonic scale. So it's the same 5 notes, just in octaves. So a good way to extend the minor pentatonic scale, and a lot of people, once they learn this little box pattern, they just stay in that box pattern. And I'm not one of these people that's huge on you've got to break out of that. You do, and there's other ways to do that, and I want to get into that in future lessons. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with using the pentatonic box shape. There's a reason why it's so popular. And it's a good one, especially for beginning and intermediate students, because you can grasp it pretty easy, you can hear it pretty easy, and it's used in so many great things that it's just a good one to know and get familiar with. But this one I'm going to show you today, and I'll put a chart up of this to help you get it a little bit easier too. Looking at it really shows how the pentatonic is laid out as in the notes of 5. This is really hard to see because everything's just stacked on top of one another. So what you want to do, find your root note, in this case the 5th fret on the top string, which is A. We're going to move that back 2 frets and start on G. And now we're going to do this pattern where we're going like, I'm just going to name the fret numbers, 3, 5, 3, 5, 7. And then we're going to do that same pattern again, starting on the 4th string, 5, 7, 5, 7, 9. But you can see it's the same pattern. So it's like these 4 notes in a box pattern, and then move up, and then we're going to do the same thing starting on this string. There's those 4 notes and moving up. So as far as the penta thing goes, naming the notes, G, A, C, D, E, again, G, A, C, D, E, and now we have one more right there, same thing, G, A, C, D, E. Okay, so putting that all together, we have the first 5, the next octave of the same 5, and the next octave of the same 5. Okay, so as far as fingers go, I don't get super hung up on that as long as you're not doing the 1 finger shuffle, which a lot of my beginning students want to do. I mean, no, don't do that in any way, shape, or form. But for the most part, you're using 1 and 3 here. Now, when I first learned this, and this is how I teach it to my students too, I'm going to talk about fingers right now when I'm naming the numbers. I was taught to go 1, 3, 1, 3, slide with the 3rd finger, 1, 3, 1, 3, slide. Now, if you did 1, 3, 1, 3, slide again, it's going to naturally feel like you should go here to the 7th fret and that's going to put you in wrong notes for the pattern. So what I was taught to do when you get to this 9th fret with the 3rd finger is now use your 2nd finger and do 2, 4, 2, 4, slide up with 4. So the whole thing, finger number wise, would be 1, 3, 1, 3, slide with the 3rd, 1, 3, 1, 3, slide with the 3rd, 2, 4, 2, 4, slide with the 4th. That's a good way to get. I still play it like that a lot of times because anytime you can work out your pinky, definitely do it, because the pinky's the lonely man in the finger club of guitar players. It gets used the least. So it's always great to use that thing whenever you can. But that being said, once you really get it under your fingers, I'm guilty of that all the time, where I'll go 1, 3, 1, 3, slide, 1, 3, 1, 3, slide, and now that I know, I go ahead and grab that with the 1st finger, 1, 3, 1, 3, slide. Okay, so you want to do that ascending and descending. For whatever reason, descending scales are always harder to get under your fingers than ascending scales. So going backwards, you want to definitely get that pattern down. Good thing I like about using A again is we start at the 3rd and we're going to end at the 12th. Well, the 12th is the double dot. So if you happen to go, I'm going to purposely play this wrong, if you happen to go, you're going to be like, whoops, I'm at the 11th fret, I'm not at the double dot, that's where I should be ending, I did something wrong. So it's a good marker to kind of make for yourself to know that you're doing the 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 9, and then 8, 10, 8, 10, 12, and you're going to end right at that double dot, and then descending, you're going to end up back at the 1st dot or the 3rd fret if your guitar doesn't have a dot at the 3rd fret. Some of them don't. So, basically the 3rd and the 12th, that's your span here of everything. And that just gives you a way longer reach, an extension of notes. Calling it the extended minor pentatonic in a way is kind of wrong, because it's really just the same notes as we're doing here. In fact, you can see that scale right there. We cross right through it. Right here, we're in it. We're in it, now we're leaving, but you can obviously combine the two. Once you get that under your fingers, you can do something like go into this one that we already know, the box pattern. Up to the extended. Back to the box pattern. Back to the extended. And just go all over the place. But it gives you this way longer stretch and just covering of the fretboard than just doing this box pattern here. Like I said, I'm not ripping on the box pattern. I use it all the time, but combine it with the extended one. Now that works anywhere, of course. So let's say we were doing G minor pentatonic, which in this case would be 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6 for the box pattern. The extended one, move it back 2 frets from the root. And in this case, we would have 1, 3, 1, 3, slide up to 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, slide up to 7, 6, 8, 6, 8, slide up to 10. So it's the same pattern as what we were doing. Couple of things to talk about with that. Whenever you're running it, always pay attention to your right hand too. Make sure you're not just going down, 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 down. Maybe at first, but once you kind of start to get it under your fingers, make sure you're alternate picking down, up, slide, or pick, down, down, up, down. And then I always slide into that one, so I would say go like down, up, slide, down, up, slide, down, up, slide. But even if you pick it, just make sure you're keeping that alternate thing going where you're constantly down and up. That's what you want to do. Even when you're doing the box pattern, we should do that. Another thing you could do to kind of make sure you've got it under your fingers is everyone knows the riff to lowrider. So that's kind of right in there in that extended scale. In this case, it's 3 5 3 5 7 5 5 7 5 7 on the 4th string. I'll try to put a chart up of that too in a tab of exactly what I'm doing. Then, of course, you could play that an octave higher, starting on the G again here. But then you can like fool around with doing it in the box pattern too. And just see how it... And then you start to realize, oh, these notes up here are just the same as back here. And it really starts to kind of make the fretboard seem a lot less intimidating. It's like, oh, okay, these notes are just repeating in patterns, and that's all it is. So that's a good one to do just once you kind of get it under your fingers. But then, of course, when you've got, like, say, a blues in A, and you're doing, like, some improv, work that in there. And that's the cool thing about that too, is, you know, with the box pattern, you can't say get this E and grab this G at the same time. With this one, if you play the E up here on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, you can grab this G here at the same time. So you can do this like thing where you get the 2 notes ringing out and do like some double stops. And then like those 2. So just, it opens up way more doors than just this. But like I said, combine it with that. Don't forget about that. But a lot of players learn that first and they just never expand on that. And definitely the extended minor pentatonic is great to dabble in and just get it under your fingers. So hope you guys enjoyed that lesson. Please comment below if you have any questions. I always get back to you guys. And please hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner. Help me out. You know I appreciate it. Find me on Facebook at Todd Beebe Music. Check out the channel for sure. Those of you who already subscribe, you know I love you guys and I love having you on board. But definitely help me out and hit that subscribe button if you don't already. We have great stuff on this channel. Tons of artist interviews. I just did one with the great Warren Haynes a while back. You can hear some audio of that. That's a brand new interview that's coming out in print in several publications here real soon, all about Warren's new album, Million Voices Whisper. But you can hear some of that audio right here on this channel. Other ones are on there: Don Felder from the Eagles, Peter Frampton, Charlie Daniels, Ricky Medlock from Lynyrd Skynyrd, Dion, George Thorogood. There's a bunch of them on there, so check those out. Way more lessons and a ton of guitar reviews of Les Pauls, Heritage guitars, different Gibsons, Firebirds, Flying V's, all kinds of stuff. So check out the channel and please hit that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. If you're into guitars, you'll love this channel, and we love having you on board. So thanks again for checking in today, everyone. And we will see you all again. Stay safe and love your dogs. Take care.